Hello guys, sorry about the delay. And I'm here with my boyfriend Jason. Say hi,
guys.
Jason.
Hello.
He wanted to do this. I did not force him. Is that right, Jason?
That's absolutely true.
I asked him a couple of times. I said, are you sure? Are you sure? So he wanted to be on with me. So I just wanted to introduce him since I'm talking about relationships and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So hello, I see one person on. Hello. So sorry about being late. I was doing a little bit of black time, so I'm 6 minutes behind. So this is kicking off course 5. So I know that we're just starting course 5. I'm kind of like on vacation, showing this wonderful man around. And, you know, I didn't have Wi-Fi for a couple of days. Hi, Billy. So I just want to go into course 5, but also he's going to give he can jump in whenever he wants to. He heard me talking about traditionalism and gender roles and marriage and stuff like that. And I guess it was interesting to him, so he wanted to come on and give his 2-piece as a man. So I just want to go through. Absolutely. I just wanted to go through what we're going to be talking about today, which is you don't have to use Becky's recipes. He doesn't probably know what we're talking about there. But so why are you taking her advice? Also, why traditionalism matters. And of course, course 5. You guys know Law of Enchantress. We're in course 5. We started at course 1. I can't believe we're up to course 5 already. It was supposed to be a one-shot thing, but everybody loved it. We're getting great reviews. So now it's a course 5. It's a continuous course. So if you're interested in the course is a one-time investment of $199, and it's continuous. So once you pay for the course, that's it. You do it one time, and you have access to everything we've ever done. So everything is kept on a secret Facebook page. All the lives, all the videos, and also all the unlisted YouTube video links are there. And it's a one-time. So once you pay once, you get everything. People will get confused sometimes. So the reason I wanted to do this is because, you know, a lot of black women are interested in getting married and having a quality marriage and having a successful marriage and having a man that's a provider, going back to traditional gender roles. So I wanted to ask, since he's here, I don't want to talk over him too much, but I wanted to ask you, what do you think about, he has no idea what we talk about. Remember, it's all girl stuff. So whatever he says, I don't know what he's going to say. So don't make me look bad.
Okay. I will try not to.
So what do you think about traditional gender roles? What does it mean to you as a man? As a British man?
What do I think? I think it's very healthy.
Okay.
I think it's, women and men are naturally inclined to do certain things that, naturally skilled at certain things that the counterparts are not, and I think it's there to complement each other.
Okay.
In a sense of, we both there to fulfill, a union, and to make that union stronger, we have to both play our parts, and we have to know what that role is.
Okay. Do you guys understand his accent? I know he has a very deep British accent. So if you guys don't understand, let me know. Speak up. She said speak up, Jason.
Okay, right. Yeah, so I think traditional marriage is a very, you see through the lines where traditional marriage is certainly, I think a marriage that is very traditional they tend to last longer. People in traditional marriages tend to less likely get divorced, tend to be more happy and fulfilling in their lives, and that's down to the two individuals understanding their roles and and finding happiness in those roles as well. So
okay, good answer.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are like mad Brooklyn and mad Hood or just mad American, basically I'll translate for you. Because I first started dating Jason, I was like, what you said? What you said? So basically what Jason is saying, if you are in a traditional marriage, you guys know what to do. You know your roles. And he also said, you love his accent. Thank you, Jenna. You also know what to do. So basically, it's more successful. He also said, if you look at the statistics, traditional marriages with gender roles are more successful, which is funny because the most established men, I was talking to you earlier, and I was telling you the most established men, the guys who have the financial security, very strangely, they're not looking for the same financial security. They're looking for traditional gender roles. And I think we're in a very extreme feminist society that sees these gender roles as submissive, as negative. Like, to really be feminine, they want you to be masculine. And that's where black women have the biggest challenge, because we're seen as almost hyper aggressive, hyper masculine. And of course, we're black women, so that's like a triple whammy. So we don't want to be seen as masculine. We don't want to be seen as hyper aggressive, because that's going to make it more challenging for us, even if we upgrade ourselves, even if we get ourselves to that next level. It's going to be harder if we have that stigma that we're complicated, that we're hyper independent, that we're masculine. We're not going to get that traditional allure, which a lot of quality men, like my baby, like they want. So that's why I'm trying to make, that's why we made the laws of Enchantress. That's a big part of it, because we've been listening. Part of it says, I'm going to say it in front of him. Part of it is Becky's recipe. We talk about, the potato salad. I don't know if he knows about that. It's a joke online that white girls make potato salad with raisins. They make baked macaroni with cauliflower. I don't know if you heard about that.
Maybe.
So basically, it's a unanimous thing that she don't wash her chicken. Remember I showed you that video?
Yeah.
They just tip the chicken in there. So we're making fun of how Becky cooks, right? We're making fun, but yet something as complicated as relationships, we take her advice. A lot of us as black women try to mimic what she does. A lot of us as black women try to mimic, the steps she takes to date. And we don't have her handicaps. She has her handicaps, and she's using what she knows that's going to help her. We don't have that handicap. Most black women I know do not mind traditional roles. Most black women I know, when they go on a date, they want the guy to pay. Most black women I know won't be insulted if the guy pulls open the door or, pulls the chair. We're talking about doing things on Becky's agenda, and she knows at the end of the day, I think right now in America, they get, I think white marriages, 70 to 80% marriage rate, meaning that on some way, shape, or form, their courtship will end in marriage. So she could talk all that shit. At the end of the day, she knows she's getting married. Even the biggest feminists, they are all married. They're never single. Like around 27, 28, they kind of disappear. And they get married, and they start talking shit lower and lower. And they tend to marry very affluent, very, dominant, very aggressive, men that can provide. And in actuality, I was looking at the numbers, they marry men that are very wealthy, typically more than the normal women. So they're telling you to do stuff they're not doing. And again, they don't have the stigma that they don't need marriage. No matter what, this is at the culture here, they will get married. So when you see black women trying to adopt and mimic and do things the way she's doing it, it's not going to work out, because we don't have that cultural label. I asked him earlier, and for a truthful thing. So even though he's British, what do you think of? I gave the girls some homework, Jason. I'm going to try to keep in order. So if you're in my Laws of Enchantress, the membership group, I gave some of you homework. I showed you 4 clips from Eddie Fuse, who's I'm going to be working with, and he's a dating relationship expert. And basically he gave me 4 clips of different men going around the world looking for traditional marriage women. There were no black women in the group, but what we noticed is that those men came to those women with an expectation of marriage, which helps tremendously. Even before the guy meets you, there's certain demographics that before you even see them, like Indian, Chinese, Japanese, Brazilian, they went all over the world. And before the guy even interacts with that female, there's a very high expectation of marriage. So when I asked my loving boyfriend earlier, I said, don't spare my feelings. Even though he's British, what do you think about African American women and marriage? Do you think that we are seen, from your point of view, don't spare our feelings, just be honest, that's why you're here. How do you think we're seen?
Very mixed.
Very mixed. Explain. Yeah. Talk loud. Come on.
Yeah, you're very loud, and
okay.
you're very, stereotypically. I don't know, but it's just.
So he said stereotypically. He's talking stereotypically. How we're seen. He's from Great Britain. So go ahead.
So it's very loud. It's very aggressive. On the other hand, you're very loyal and you're very trustworthy, and you also appreciate stereotypical gender roles. So you're very sort of traditionally conservative in that aspect, but you're not as African American women tend not to be as what's the word? It's
I'm not helping you, son.
No, I'll get it. It's they display anger. They're like, you know, in a different, like, not in a sort of a subvert. They're very sort of direct, sort of, you know, when they're pissed off at you, they'll show you, and they're very direct. And
you're talking about how they're seen.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not saying his opinion. He's just telling you guys. Remember, he's from Europe. He's telling you how you guys look from the outside. Yeah. So continue. Go ahead. So
yeah, I mean, it's and you know, when it's you know, when you find when I've been talking to people before, and whether it's an African woman, when she's starting to raise her voice, and a part of me thinks, you know, is this person actually willing to have a conversation with me? Because, you know, it's kind of, well, you know, I don't want to be in a situation where I think I've actually got a good reason to answer you, but you're so angry right now, and it's like, I don't know what you're going to do next. It's very unpredictable in the sense of, or you could just turn around and whack me one. It's you know, and I don't think any guy wants to be in a relationship that they always have to feel like they're walking on tiptoes, or
like know,
their girlfriend's going to lose their temper and throw something at you, or, you know, just anyway, just beat you up. And I don't think any guy wants to be with a girl who's very unpredictable, is very sort of short,
angry all the time.
So
you know, what he's talking about is how you are portrayed. Of course, he doesn't think that because he's with me, and it is a contrast of what's being seen. That's why we said right here, I talk about in course 5, we're going to talk a lot about branding and marketing yourself as a Black woman. And what does that mean? That means you need to have an immediate contrast upon appearance, upon speak, in women, in the way they portray us. Because it's hard to swallow, because I'm a traditionalist. You know, my parents been married for 40 years. I'm nothing like that. I'm not hyper aggressive. You know, I like, you know, when the man knows what's happening, what's going on. I know, I'm not saying I can't use my own brain, but like, I think I was showing a good example. Okay, a good example of dysfunction. I was just showing my sweetheart, we were out having dinner, Air France plane crash. You might say, what does this got to do with this? In the the plane crash, a crash that happened a couple of years ago, literally everybody was doing their own thing. You had one pilot pulling up, you had one pilot pulling down, and the head pilot was having a nap. Unfortunately, the plane crashed and over 200 people died. But the point is, there was no function. There was no cohesiveness. You know, everybody was doing their own thing. And that's the dysfunction in any type of demographic. You got to know what you're doing. If you come to work and someone says, hey, just do your job, there's so many ways you can do your job. There's so many ways that you'll decipher that. So you need to have a structure, and not only just a structure that you guys agree and work on. And that's why marriages that have some type of gender roles, even if it's modern, they work. And Black women are in a very challenging position, because we are in a culture where we're getting more and more distant from gender roles. And on top of it, we are in a culture where, you know, marriage is not a dominant thing. It's just not. So that's why I made the laws of Enchantress. So women that want to have a successful marriage and attract a successful partner and have a partner that can provide, that can happen. So, you know, I want to talk a little bit more. I want to hear Jason's opinion. So what do you think? Now you know me.
Yeah.
I know that he goes to church and he has a lot of wonderful women of color there. So in contrast with how you see her projected, what are some of the values you see or don't see? Like, I'm your girlfriend. Is there any sharp contrast you think people on the outside would be surprised about me as a Black woman, or just in general? Because he has a lot of Black friends and stuff like that. So I'm talking about the contrast. Like, once you get to know me, because I have a friend named Anthony. He says that Black women are very gentle. He said, you know, they're sweet, but it's a sharp contrast to how the media shows you and how you appear. So what are some of the things?
I mean, you mean like pleasant surprises?
Yeah, like about me. I'm Jamaican. What did you like? What are some of the things you were surprised when we first started dating?
Yeah, you're very caring.
Okay.
You're very sweet. You're very thoughtful.
Okay.
You're very feminine.
Very feminine. You heard that, guys?
Yeah.
Very feminine. I'm very feminine. Take notes.
You wear your heart on your sleeve, so when you get angry, you show it. When you're happy, you show it. And you make me feel like a man in a relationship. So.
Did you hear that? We didn't plan this. He said, I make him feel like a man in the relationship. It's not that complicated. Go ahead, sweetheart.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a very I think it surprises that a lot of especially there's a lot of African women in the church that I go to back home in the UK. A lot of them are very traditional. They believe it's the woman's. I'm not saying should be outright print, but a lot of them do cook for their husbands. They are the housekeeper of the house, and the man is to provide. And I'm not saying you can't have your own career and things like that, but it's they're brought up in a very traditional sense, and they function very well as a unit. You'll hardly ever find divorce happens in very sort of the African communities. It's just not handled upon, and they tend to have much more of a traditional social structure than what we do, mainly in the Western world, where like you said, a lot of these Beckys break down are all sorts of pseudo forms of patriarchal struggles that are oppressing women, which they're not. It's women find it. Women are more happier when they genuinely are into comfortable roles, because it's a woman shouldn't do a man's job and a man shouldn't do a woman's job. It's as simple as that. I know it's it's not always blueprint, but you'll find that women are just very different to men, and women are very different to men, and vice versa, and we complement each other and we need one another. So it's and a lot of women, I find that they think being single or being the dominant one, and then realize that they're not actually being happy, and they actually find happiness when they are actually feeling more feminine in a relationship than they were sort of being the alpha female in a relationship, and the man didn't do anything and he never really put her in a place or corrected her, so it's yeah.
Oh wow, you did great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Ooh. Yeah. Has he been listening? Has he been eavesdropping on the laws of Enchantress? Because did I prep you at all?
No.
Okay. So you heard what he said. Feminine. You heard what he said. Masculine. Feel like the man. He's from Great Britain, and he goes to he's Christian, which I love. He's a conservative Christian, and he goes to church back home with a lot of different women from different African nations. I know his accent's very thick, so I just want to go over what he's saying. And he's telling you that they do traditional roles and it works very well. He didn't say you cannot have your career, but at some point there needs to be a way for you to feel feminine, because you're happier when you feel feminine, and it kind of like reflects back with the man, and the man feels masculine. So he also said something about Becky, which is funny. I like when he says Becky, that Becky is here telling you her issues, and that's not our gripe. And also, what you have to understand about Becky, because I've been watching this for a long time, Becky doesn't want equality. She wants dominance. She doesn't want equality. She wants dominance. She hates the patriarchy. She hates it, and she wants to destroy it, but she wants to be in charge. And it's not for all women. We're talking about white women. You and me will not be included in her Becky matriarch. That's why you see a lot of the social issues for women have been in a standstill. All the social issues that benefit Becky have been like abortion. I don't care what your stance is, but there's other health issues, especially for black women, besides abortion. There's medical discrimination. We're giving birth and we're dying in childbirth so much more. There's so many things happening. Ovarian cancer, breast cancer, heart cancer. Women die the most from heart disease. But you don't hear about that because they control the conversation. And like I said, I think I said this to him the other day, Becky is protected. She says, oh, the patriarch is so evil. Yeah, right. If you are a white woman and you accuse anyone, the Me Too movement, how many men did we see who didn't even get a trial? I'm not saying they're right or wrong, because I don't know the case. I always use facts. But just accusing someone of any sexual misconduct before the trial even came, they were gone. That's power. That's power. If I can open my mouth and literally the guy's whole career was done overnight, you are not a demographic that's disenfranchised. You are powerful. Because if I, as a black woman, accuse somebody of sexual assault, you better believe it's going to be a trial. It's going to be 2-3 trials, evidence. I got to sit down. I got to go through a whole jury, because it's a different demographic. And I don't know why we're trying to be successful in marriage like her when she doesn't have our advantages. Like he said, most black women appreciate traditionalism. Most black women don't have a problem cooking for their husband. It's not the end of the world to cook for your husband. It's not. If you want a guy to pay for you, if you want a guy to provide, lead, if you want a guy to be able to provide, at what point do you tip the scale and make it balanced and be feminine? You can't say, I don't want to cook, I don't want to be home, I don't want to have kids, I don't want to raise kids, but then when it comes the other way around, you want the guy to be completely traditional. It does not make sense. You're confusing him. He doesn't know what you want. If you do, even when my boyfriend says, baby, I'll help you cook, I'm like, no, I got it. Because I'm trying to create that balance. He offers, he's a sweet guy. But even, I want to make sure that our roles are defined. And it's not about me, being submissive. It's about you knowing your role. Co-pilot, pilot. We're both not trying to fly the plane into the ocean. We both know what we're doing. And you can't, like I said, you cannot listen to Becky because Becky don't listen to Becky. I used to work in jewelry, I used to work in bridal. She's the one getting married. Y'all not getting married. She's the one getting married. And yeah, different economic circles, they last longer. It's not just 50% divorce rate. You're talking about lower economic circles that struggle. They get dramatic divorce rates. The higher you are on the economic scale, which means a balance, that's the marriages that last longer. And normally when men don't have to worry about raising kids, normally when men don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, who's going to do what, he can focus on his career. So, like I said, you can't fly a plane. I wish I could show you the France clip. Everyone can be a pilot. You need to have a main pilot, a co-pilot, and a backup. But in that scene that I showed you, what did you see? Everyone was doing their own thing. One pilot was flying it up.
One pilot was
flying it down.
The captain was asleep.
The captain was asleep. This was a real crash, Air France, a few years ago. Over 200 people died. And to me, I saw that as a dysfunctional relationship. It was kind of like a metaphor for me. I was like, wow, this is what happens in these marriages. So you can't be doing your own thing. And one thing I want to tell you is that, you have to network with marriage-minded people. You have to network with people that respect marriage. It's not enough. Hey, Kenora, it's not enough just to get married. You need to have a healthy culture of marriage. Because some men think marriage is just what? Coming home? Like there's different ideas. What do you think marriage is?
Depends who you're married to.
Depends who you're married to. What is your idea of marriage?
My idea, the way I think it should work, come home to where I can forget my problems outside and I can have emotional support, love and care and kindness and, and feel encouraged and feel like, okay, this is a place of rest and a place of safety emotionally and physically.
Aww.
And yeah, so it's, that's what, I don't want to, come home and have to fight my wife after I've had a bad day at work. It's kind of, I have to deal with my boss and I have to deal with you. That ain't good. It's no man wants to. And you'll find, most men, when they're in very unhappy relationships, they go down the pub first before they go home to see their wives. They've had a bad day at work. They don't want to come home and see Becky. They want to be down the pub or the bar. And because that's the way they deal with their stress. Because if they go home, they know talking to their spouse or their partner, their wives or whoever their significant other is, and it's just they just think, oh, I don't want to deal with her as well, and and for many women I know they don't want to be like that. They want to be seen as someone that their husbands come home to and they can put a smile on their face.
Aww. So sweet.
Yeah.
Well, but you see, we learned in the course, I can't talk too much about the paid course because some of y'all gonna cut me, but a little snippet, y'all don't kill me, the members don't kill me, but a little snippet is that be a domestic goddess. That's why I have another page called Traditional Lux, Ladies Lux, where it's just encouraging you, because I don't think women understand. When you're with a real man, not those guys, what you put on the table. Not one of those guys that want you to be a man. Like, those guys don't even want to get married. So let's not talk about them. But when you're with a real man, he wants you to create an environment like a domestic goddess. Like he said, when he comes home from work, he don't want you to be arguing. You know, he said, because his accent is thick. I just want to go over what he said. You know, most men don't want to go home. They go to the pub. Yeah. I guess that's an English word for bar, pub. Yeah. Like a pub. They don't want to go home. And, you know, they're looking for a release and escape. And a lot of women don't understand the value of creating that domestic goddess home, like when your guy gets home. But the reason why a lot of us, especially black women, don't have it, because we're not allowed to be feminine. We've been together for 8 months. Yeah. 8 months. 8 wonderful months. Yeah. I mean, kissing me. For 8 months. Okay. And I also want to talk about this too. Like, I say a lot when I talk to the matchmakers. But dusty ex-husband. Selena said, I need to get on that page. Being with a dusty ex-husband took me out of my feminine. Nope. That's the word. Let me tell you, my mother, he met my mom. My mother been married to my dad for 40 years. How feminine is my mom?
She's very traditional.
Very traditional. Yeah, very soft-spoken.
Yeah. Yeah, she's very... her father's the head of the house. And, you know, and it's...
Does she look happy?
She does. She's very happy. She's very happily married, and you know, and I think, you know, she's very, you know, she's very full of joy and love. And,
yeah.
You know, and that's the impression I got of her. You know, when I met her. You know.
And what I also want to talk about is marriage. So I know, thank you, Jamaican black castor oil. We met, this is why I want to talk about marketing and branding. So don't let me forget to ask a question about marriage. Okay. Like, remind me. So this is what I mean. We met on Facebook. I was in a group that was talking about, you know, interracial dating and marriage. Someone was just starting a group, and I was one of the people managing the page. And it was a Facebook group that just brand new that someone made, one of another interracial, you know, dating person has a big platform. And he saw me. I was doing a talk. I don't know what I was doing a talk about. What was I talking about?
You were in your room in New York.
I was in my room in New York somewhere, yeah. And I was doing a talk. But I guess you like what I was saying, or, yes. You know, I was pretty, you know, that. But it was a combination. And this is what I mean about marketing and branding yourself. What if I would have got on there and said crazy stuff, or I would have been angry about men, or like I would have been like, oh, screw relationships, or just, you know, you never know who's watching. So he's sitting there in England, all the way in England, and he's seeing me talk about relationships. I guess I have a sense of humor. I know I can be pretty funny. Yeah. I probably made you laugh. And he was attracted to that, and he messaged me. And when I saw he was from Great Britain, I laughed. I was like, oh, now I want to hear this funny ass accent, son. So I basically called him to hear his Game of Thrones. I was like, oh, I want to speak to Jon Snow. And I was like, I called him just to hear his accent. So that's it. And we hit it off, and we were like just keeping in contact back and forth. We're Skyping 3 times a day, made plans to see each other back and forth, and it just blossomed, and it felt good. I was nervous at first because I never dated somebody long distance, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. Jason did an amazing job. I didn't even feel like it was long distance. Like I never got a text message from him. He always Skyped, video call. I
don't text.
He doesn't text.
But, you know, I always call my friends and family. I do not text. It's just the way I am. It's the people say, you never text, Jason. It's like, yeah, I know. It's I always call people.
And I do think a big part of the reason why we're successful. Yeah. Tell us how mean you were at first. Oh yeah, like I didn't think it was gonna work because just the distance and online, and you know, I was kind of like nervous. Like I wouldn't really give in. Like, you know, I was like, okay, whatever. But Jason knew what he wanted. Jason was persistent. He was confident. He was like, yeah, okay, you're gonna be mine. All right, never mind. But he was amazing, and he's an amazing guy. So I do think texting is damaging because people say, well, how did you do it long distance? I didn't feel like long distance. All of our conversations were just like how you're seeing us now.
Yeah.
you see how you're talking to Connie, you're seeing my facial expression. I was able to see even his dog, like Buster, and it's his dad. He would show me around England. Like, he put in an investment in time and personal emotional investment. And by the time we got to finally see each other, it was like natural. Like, I felt like I got more out of him than the actual boyfriends that I had in person, because most of my prior boyfriends, they text. I even told him, like, I had one boyfriend that I was with for 2 years, and we had 21 phone calls and over 10,000 texts. Like, our primary source of communication was 10,000 texts. And that's not enough. That's not enough. But this is a text generation, but thank God he's not a texting guy. So, what did I want to ask a question about? Marriage. So, what I want you to, because I want to get more of his funny British accent out of here. But a lot of girls have been told by Becky, don't talk about marriage, don't mention marriage. If you mention marriage, the guy's gonna run. So you have him here, 8 months in, we're in love. How do you, like, if I bring up marriage, are you running away?
No.
Okay. How do you feel about marriage as a man?
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing. I think it's a healthy thing. Society. I think even the children that tend to be better when they're born inside, a marriage, and children that have got two parents together, not divorced, tend to do much better in education, and if less likely to commit crimes, and so on and so on. So marriage is generally a good thing for society. I believe it's good. Two people, it's the basic pillar of society where two people are committed to each other. Yeah, so that's my view of marriage.
So you don't get scared?
No. And personally, with the whole thing of you said when you said about the guys will run away if you talk about marriage. If he runs away, he's not a real man. It's
Oh, Dion has a question. I'll let you answer it since you're here. How quickly did you talk about marriage?
I think
pretty quick.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. Yeah.
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to tell you girls, when I actually sat down with matchmakers, because I paid to do matchmaking courses. Of course, I don't need it, baby. It's just for the course. It's not for you. I do it for information. Yeah. But when I went to the matchmakers, we're talking about mad expensive. Remember, we did it in the course. I can't talk about too much during the live here because people pay for that information. But to make a long story short, 92% of people that hire these really expensive matchmakers were men. Mm-hmm. Men are not scared of marriage. The men who don't want marriage are scared of marriage. Think about it. If you have generational wealth, if you have a legacy, if you have any type of thing you want to pass down, you need marriage. That's why wealthy people get married 2-3 times. You might be like, what's wrong with them? They understand the power of marriage and that you can't build a powerful, dynasty. You can't build a dynasty on baby daddies and broken homes, no matter what the race is. So that's why I'm trying to tell people that, marriage is necessary, but, as a man, like a lot of women, Becky, tell you, don't talk about marriage, don't bring it up. That's not true. Like,
it's very shallow.
It's very shallow.
Yeah, and it shows where his values are. It's if he wants to run away when you talk about marriage.
Like Sonic.
Absolutely. And it's a very men that run away from that. Are very it kind of shows their character that they don't want a deep committed relationship. And that could be because their fear of whereas the woman's going to take half of his money, it's if they get divorced and so on and so on. But it's for me, it's a successful man knows that marriage is a good thing, and you've got to be very wise who to look for, because marriage is a thing that needs to be worked out by both people.
I just want to pause you right there. Yeah. Did you girls hear what he said? A successful man knows that marriage is a good thing. I didn't tell him to say that. He's talking with his strong British accent there. But he said it. I want you guys to write that down. A successful man. So if you're talking to a guy and he's trying to splurt, that's hood for runaway, son.
Yeah.
And he's trying to bounce. Bounce means, okay, you leave.
Yeah.
And he's trying to bounce. Right off the back, you should know. Because no one wants to marry the wrong person. Nobody just wants to get married to get married. I would not want to get married just to get married. This is not about this pushing black women to marry bodies. Of course, I love this man, and I think he'll be a great husband. What about me for a great wife?
Absolutely.
So it's a good thing. It's a healthy thing. It's a good progression in a relationship. You want to start that off because it's not just about marriage. Because if you get that person married and they don't care about the values that you care about, it's gonna be a problem. So that's
I was just reading the comment from Dion.
Oh, Dion's a troublemaker. Read her comment with your accent.
OMG, this is the cutest live on the freaking planet.
So yeah, we love Dion. Dion's wonderful. But all these girls are wonderful. And I truly feel they've been shortchanged by an extreme feminist agenda. Like, I'm liberal and I say, whoa, it's out of control. It is out of control. They're telling you girls to be out for this, out for that. And when you get in the house with the guy, you're going to be butting heads like two dares. Like two bucks, or they call it. It's not healthy. And it's also insulting in a way to say feminine roles or feminine genders are inferior. In a way, it's saying the only way to be a successful woman is to copy and be a man, which is completely... How is that liberating if you make me feel ashamed to be a mother? If you make me feel ashamed to want to take care of my warriors brothers? Nah.
I only have one, and he's autistic.
He only has one brother, and he's special needs autistic. Sorry, guys. Probably some friends. You never know. But that's what I'm saying. And I also want to talk about this, too, because I know there's a lot of girls in my group that are interested in all types of men. And I want to make this clear, because, my baby's right here. Ooh, might have to end this live soon. Okay, no, but I want to make this clear. I love Jason because he's a good man.
Thank you very much.
We share the same values. I love that he's Christian. That was my dream. Like, I wanted a guy that had those morals about him. I didn't have to drag it out of him. He believes in traditionalism, and he's compassionate. He's a great guy. He believes in providing. He believes in taking care of me. He's passionate about making sure that I'm taken care of. So I want women to know that it's not just because he's white. It's not that.
No.
It's not that. If he was white and he was a crunchy white boy, that's what I call the hood ass.
Yeah.
Sorry, crunchy. But so it's not because of that. So I tell black women, have your prerequisites, have your core list of what's important to you, and just go by it. And when you go by it, naturally you'll see the type of man that will fall into it. And whatever you pick is up to you. But when we take the Laws of Enchantress course, we do go over a core universal prerequisite list that your guy should pass. And it's not crazy or outlandish, it's basic shit, okay, that any man should do. So it's not about, go for white, because you got some white guys who don't care, that they're not traditional. They're into the liberal stuff. They're into living together before you get married. They don't really care about marriage. And even if you marry them, they don't really believe in gender roles. Both y'all be working in corporate, both y'all come home, and in 2 years, you get divorced and you got to split 50-50. It's not about that. You got to look at the values of each person. So, she said, he loves you, Connie. You love me. I love you too. So, that's why I wanted to show you guys that if you stick, she's crying, if you believe and you're positive, you can have, you can't lock yourself up, and you really have to heal. That's why the course talks about healing, manifestation, being positive. When I met Jason, I not too long broke up with a crunchy guy. Like, I broke up with somebody. But if I didn't heal and look past it, I wouldn't have talked to you.
No.
I would have been like, no, I'm good, son. But the thing is that you have to be positive and network with people that have your best interests in mind. And that's what we talk about the course. Course 5 is all about getting you down the aisle, getting you bride ready. Not just getting married, but making sure that when you actually have that marriage, it's the marriage that's going to be nurturing and healthy for both of you. Don't listen to Becky and talk about just securing the bag. Yeah, you want to make sure you have a financially stable partner, but it's not about that. You can have it all. You're not cold and passive aggressive, unfortunately, like some Beckys are. Black women have a very strong sensual appeal. I was asking him today, like, we're kissy-wissy and we like to hold hands. And I was saying, this typically speaking, do you think that white women or Becky are that affectionate like black women are?
No.
You see how fast he said no? Women, that is your power. Men like to feel good. Men like to feel like a man. Yeah. Like, rubbing his leg, that's why he's shaking his head. Men like to feel touched. They like to feel appreciated. But when you're talking about competing and you're an alpha woman, it's really hard for you to express that femininity because you just don't believe in it. And that's why she has to use all this sneaky shit, because she literally lacks the warmth and sensuality that black women do. so they lack it. And a lot of times, I'm not trying to diss anybody else's program, they're copying and mimicking what Becky does to be successful, but we don't have those handicaps. If a man feels like a man, if you can make that man feel good, make him feel loved, make him feel honored, make him feel respected. I'm not just talking figuratively, I'm talking about literally. When we did the course, I can't talk too much about it, but there was a survey and they were talking to the very affluent men. And the things that the men wanted, I think I told you, it was so funny. They just wanted traditionalism. They wanted them to feel, the women wanted the men to feel appreciated. It was a basic 101. Basic 101. And it's not look at Harry and Meghan. Megan's not hood or ghetto, but if you're talking about royalty and etiquette, she's not going to have that blue blood etiquette. None of us do. We're not born into that. But there's a certain expressiveness that the way Megan looks at Harry. Yeah. Like, you're not going to have Becky looking at Harry like that. Mm-hmm. Like, she was looking at Harry like she could see the whole galaxy. She looks at Harry like she could see the whole world. She was like, But doesn't that make you feel good as a man?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do I look at you like that?
You do, and I love that.
Okay, so I'm going to let him go, because I don't know what he has to do now, but you can...
I don't know, do I have to do anything?
You got to do anything? Are you okay to stay?
I'm okay to stay. Okay,
I want to make sure he doesn't have his man stuff to do, because you see me being thoughtful and considerate, Becky would have been like, fuck that, you stay here for the whole time. But that's what I'm saying, it's not as complicated as the world is making it. So it's these men are neglected. These men don't feel like they're able to be men. I'm not trying to be a pick-me, but when you look at the actual statistics, we went if you guys are part of the Law of Enchantress course, the secret page, I can't talk too much about it because this is a general live on the closed page. You guys saw the basic 101 stuff that men were asking for. Like, what black woman is going to argue with a guy because he want to pay for the bill? Or what black woman's going to argue because he wants you to stay home and he wants you to be domesticated? What black woman has an issue with throwing events and throwing parties? He's like, no, only Becky. Because Becky has a trust fund, Becky has a different economical status, and Becky, unfortunately, she's desired socially because of discrimination from every demographic. Like, we saw the arrogance where she was like, I'm on top. Like, everybody wants me. So she's kind of like the Walmart of women. Everyone shops there. But this is our chance to capitalize. Like, I'm not trying to set up your Becky sisters here. But this is our chance, if we truly want to be seen as an exceptional woman, not to shy away from traditionalism, not to shy away from conservatism, which means in the way we talk, the way we dress, because we have to make sure we do a sharp distinction. Because even though he thinks I'm beautiful and thinks I'm pretty, do you like me dressing super sexy?
Yeah.
You like me showing off my body?
To me, yes.
To me? You said to me, yes. Yeah. So you don't have the guys that appreciate you when you're only booty out, boobs out. Those are not the guys that want you for their husband. I mean for their wife. That's not it. Like, if I'm your wife, you want me showing my like tooties and like everything hanging out?
No.
No.
Heck no.
So it makes you stand out because you can be.
It gives me a bad image.
It gives him a bad image.
Yeah.
And that's the most challenging thing about black women is that socially, remember we talked about in my other video with the Nicki Minaj and not even Nicki Minaj, she's not even that bad compared to Cardi B on stage dancing with her legs open 10,000 months pregnant. And then you have, she's an ex-stripper. And then you have another ex-stripper, Black China. Then you have another ex-stripper, Amber Rose. So there's a very strong over-sexualized stigma of us, and they're all strippers. Even when you watch rap videos, they're all in strip clubs. It's like, do you have any other background setting besides the strip club? So, hey, Laquita. So what group was that you were in, Connie? Spill the tea. The group that we have is the Laws of Enchantress Learning Group. So this is the main page. I made this main page so people can see what the group is about, so there's no surprises. So the Law of Enchantress Learning pages is where we have the courses, where I do live videos like this, but I'm giving you feedback from matchmakers, relationship experts, from books rereading, and it's all about manifestation, healing. There's course 1, course 2, course 3. So once you enroll, you have access to everything. You don't have to keep paying for different ones. And it's continuous. We're up to course 5. The first one came out, I believe, May 1st. And it was going to be a one-time shot. But when I saw so many black women giving me such great feedback and saying, we need this. This was the missing link. And that's why I said, okay, I'm going to keep it up. So if you're interested in the course, it's a one-time investment of $199. That's it. And you get access to everything, all the past courses, current courses, and all the future courses, and the library. Like, I was working last night to what time? Like 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
I was fast
asleep.
He went to sleep. He left me. But I was up working till 3 a.m., putting together all the information that I collect from matchmakers, relationship experts, because I do my coaching with them. As you can see, I have a boyfriend. I don't need to do the coaching, but I want that professional expert advice to share with black women. And what I love is it's different angles. It's not just one person's perspective. Like, I can have a coaching with the rules. I can have a coaching with Eddie Fuse. So yeah, Jason wants to go watch soccer. He's fine. You didn't know? No, you're done?
No.
Tomorrow?
It's tomorrow, yeah.
You just say you're looking sleepy.
I'm okay.
You sleepy? Good. Go to bed, Jason.
Okay. You sure?
Go ahead, yes.
Alright, I'll get myself some juice. But
yeah.
Have a good night, y'all.
Don't bump my thing so it doesn't fall off. Yes, Jason, go. So we can have our girl talk.
Okay.
Thank you, Jason. Bye-bye. I'll be joining you shortly. Don't fall asleep. See, Nicole? Thank you. Thank you. But that's what I was saying. The courses, this next course is Be Bride Ready. So it's talking about if you're serious about getting married, if you are ready, you're healed. They said night, Jason.
Night, guys.
Okay. So this next course is called Be Bride Ready. So if you're serious about, he needs to, like, he's resting up for his soccer games and stuff like that. But he really wanted to come on there. Thank you so much, guys. He really wanted to come on here and support me. I didn't force him. I do my videos without him all the time. But he liked what I was saying, because he said that black women need to know that, number one, real men aren't scared of marriage. This is completely ridiculous. Like, if you have a successful life, you want a good wife. They're a strong thing. And also traditionalism, like, don't listen to Becky. Like, he's like, don't listen to Becky, because Becky is not even doing what she's saying. And this is a guy from Great Britain telling you that. And our biggest challenge is our image. And that's part of course 5, which I'm going to be putting out tonight. I'm going to be putting out the outline and start doing the recordings from tonight to make sure it gets out there. So like I said, it's a one-time investment. It's not like you have to pay for each course. We do that one course, and we also have payment plans. You could do 4 installments of $50, or every 2 weeks you can do 2 installments of $100. So once you get to 200, that's it. And it's worth it. It is such a good course, and I'm proud. I'm more confident to say it's worth it because I'm getting such great feedback from women. And what I like the most is that it talks about healing. You know, if you had, what you want over here, Jason? Okay. If you had hurt in the past, if you had dysfunction, if you have stuff in your childhood, it puts a big emphasis on being the best version of you. There's so many, thank you guys, thank you, thank you, Cheryl. There's so many emphasis on what you need to give first as a Black woman before you're healed. And like I said, it's very challenging. He's telling you the social negative stigma that Black women have. And it's not fair. It's not fair, you know, so thank you, girl, so much for that. And he's telling you the missing link is that people don't know how great you are. Like, he's saying, like, people don't know how great you are. A white guy just told you guys, he's from Britain, from Europe, that Black women are more sensual. We are more affectionate. Men love that. That's what men love. Look at the way Meghan looks at Harry. I don't care if she half white, whatever, but men love that. Men need feminine energy. It gets them high. And that's what you need to know as a Black woman. You're the highest frequency of feminine energy on the planet. You don't see us trying to river dance. You don't see us trying to do polka, but white girls are trying to twerk. White girls are trying to do hip hop. They're trying to do booty popping exercises. We're the ones that they're following. So that's what the course is teaching you about healing, empowering, and manifesting. Like I said, it's not about level up for me. We are the upgrade. We are the next level. We have blinders on our eyes. And so many of us have negative conditioning, layers and layers. How are you going to follow Becky, son? You won't even eat her potato salad. You won't even eat her unwashed Thanksgiving turkey. You guys be making fun of her food, but yet you're going to take her dating advice? It don't mean... There's my hair. Oh, all my hair, it's knotted now, but that's, yeah, you can see. But how are you gonna eat her? Like, I'm dead serious. Y'all won't even eat the unwashed chicken. I know y'all seen that Facebook clip of unwashed chicken. You said here to the front. Here you go. This here it is. So y'all won't even, thank you so much. I feel embarrassed because it's frizzy. We were all touring today. We're in Pennsylvania, so I have to like do it and stuff, but I'm horrible. But y'all, I mean it, like, y'all won't even follow her recipes, but there's so many beautiful, thank you so much. Thank you so much. But there's so many beautiful Black women that are, in my opinion, giving their power, their feminine energy away, and they're following Becky because Becky doesn't have that. But it's the truth. There's a sensuality missing, and they're going to do everything to suppress it. Why do you think, I said this before, why do you think Becky is anti-feminine? Because she sucks at femininity. I'm just saying it. She sucks at sensuality. She sucks at wanting to please her man. There's a war going on. I'm telling you guys, when I was talking to the other male Caucasian relationship experts, so many Black women, thank you, Kenora, you're beautiful too. Yeah. Marlene said, yeah, yes. Marlene, I have it used to be Hassess But Beauty. I have an Enchantress beauty page. I converted the page. I wear wigs and I braid my hair. So that's what you want to do if you want to grow your hair out. Just wear, I don't have a relaxer, and I leave my hair alone. I wear mad wigs. I know people were making fun of me because I wear wigs. I don't care. I love my wigs. My wigs are a way for me to protect my hair while my hair grows. And what I do is normally I braid the hair under the wig, and I use mad Jamaican black castor oil. So you can do that. You know, it's not hard, but the secret is the wigs, because you have to leave the hair alone. Black hair grows. That's why we gotta get new growth. That's why we gotta do perms. Black hair grows a lot. That's why you gotta get touch-ups when you have a relaxer. The reason why black hair doesn't stay long, I got mad wigs. JC be like, I like your real hair, Connie. I'm like, but if I was to mess with my real hair, I wouldn't have hair. This is just a special edition. This is a special treat. But the way to grow your hair, to me, wigs are the secret. If any Black woman does what I do, your hair will grow. Just wash your hair. Don't use heat. get some conditioner, put almost half the jar. When I'm done, when it dries, I put mad Jamaican castor oil and shea butter. I leave it alone for 2 to 3 weeks. It might not smell the best, but that shit grows long. Okay? It grows long. Why do you think any black woman that gets dreadlocks, it grows, right? Dreadlocks grow. Why do you think dreadlocks grow? Because nothing breaks. You gotta figure out a way to mimic that non-breakage. Do you know the African shea butter, the hard one they sell in that clear tub, the yellow one? Use that in your hair, but you gotta saturate the hair you gotta do it from all the way from the root all the way down, and that's how you do it. It's not, our hair grows. Why do you think any black person that get dreadlocks, their hair grows? Any black person that get twists, their hair go down to there. It's because nothing breaks. You have to mimic that way of getting nothing to break. So that's it. That's it. And we can't do, I hate to say this, what Becky do. Don't be washing your hair every day. That makes our hair shed. Even, I'm going to be honest with you, if you can leave the hair alone, if you can probably wash it, I hate to say this, wash it once a month. I know it sounds gross, but once you do that, that's what makes, you got to leave the hair alone. You got to just leave it alone. I'm sorry. Washing your hair every 2 weeks is tough, because when you have natural hair, it breaks easily. So that's it. Anyone could grow their hair. Like I have on my page, anyone can do it. It's not complicated. You see girls that are like beautiful, mahogany, Denzel Washington, Wesley Snipes complexion. Everybody growing their hair. So Becky be washing out for feminine energy. So every I'm telling you, black women, they are scared. The only thing they got left is, oh, them bitches don't grow hair. We grow the most hair than anyone. To be honest with you, this is going back under the wig soon, because I don't know how to do this. I can't take, I have to go to there's a natural hair salon here. I don't know how to take care of this. I don't want to break it. So the thing is that you need to do stuff for you. A lot of us are following Caucasian hair care. You can't do that. And to be honest with you, oh my God, I feel bad. I'm beating up on Becky. But white women don't really like long hair. That's why I get insulted when you say, oh, white women. White women don't like long ass hair. You're talking about Princess Jasmine, Indian, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. White girls love cutting the hell out of their hair with them crazy ass, I need the manager hairstyle. That's why I call, can I speak to the manager? Hairstyles. When's the last time you seen a white girl with hair down to her ass, nice thick hair? They don't like that shit. Well, even when black women wear wigs and straight hair, we wear it and we have our own style. We don't look like Becky. We don't look like her. I'm sorry. Like, if you tell me you look like Princess Jasmine, I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm copying Princess Jasmine. You're right. Or any kind of girl from East Indian descent, or Chinese or Japanese. I ain't trying to look like Mississippi Lice. She don't be having nice hair. What do you talk about? Mississippi Lights #5? Like, anybody wearing Becky hair? Like, you have no reason to be dissing us. We don't be trying to put in no white tracks from Alabama. Nobody buys their bundles from Louisiana. Nobody buys their bundles from Tennessee. We buy bundles from South America and East India. Why they over here getting hype? When's the last time you seen a white person cut their hair off and give it to us for a wig? Let me know when that happens. It doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. So she needs to sit her pancake down, because I don't want Mississippi Lights #6 bundle. That's not what I asked for. Put that shit back on the shelf. Back on the shelf. The greasy scalp, and you can see back on the shelf. Back on the shelf. No, if you tell me Indian now, yes, I love their hair. Or Asian or Chinese, yes, they have beautiful hair. But anybody trying to be like them? It's true. When's the last time you seen like big cascading waves? They're not feminine that way. They don't like a lot of hair. You see when they do makeovers, oh, I got a makeover. All they gotta do is some gay guy cut her hair looking like a man. They don't like big full curls. If you go on Instagram, a lot of them that have that big full curls, they're wearing clip-ons and weaves just like us. But the thing is that because they're white, they don't get the suspicion. But I could see who have it now because I'm a hair person. I love hair. So, like I said, stop your hair from breaking. It might be uncomfortable, but wash your hair like once a month. If you brave 2 months. But the whole point is to stop the breaking. Just stop it. So exactly, their feminine energy can produce that type of hair. They don't have the long ass hair like Indian women and Chinese women. But yeah, so I'm so excited for this course. As you can see, my boyfriend's very excited for the course. I hope I get a ring soon. Yeah. That's what we were doing earlier. So yeah, you know, and I know that the happiness that I have, any black woman can have. There's nothing special about me. And one thing I do want to tell you is that the hair growth, the skin, I do want to say when you are in love and when you are happy, it's a health bonus. You know, losing weight, it's a health bonus. I know. But it's been 8 months and you see him here. Like, I wanted to show you so people can't say, oh, she's doing this course and she got a man. First of all, you don't need to have a man to do this course or to teach this course. Patty Stanger is the world's top matchmaker and she is single. A lot of the people I matchmake with and network with, who I pay a lot of money to talk to, they are not in a relationship. It's called common sense. And a relationship isn't a competition. You're supposed to wait for the one that compliments you. What you do in the meantime is be the best possible version of you. It's not, oh, she don't got a man. It's not about that. I could be single and not have Jason and still be able to let you guys know the basics and the mechanics of what it takes to get married, stay happily married, and have those positive attributes. That's why we're in course 5. So don't, you know, I think when you're black, people like to play the CIA and the FBI. So many black women, and I'm going to keep it mad real, go to counselors and spend $200-$300 an hour. They don't know that white person's background. They don't know what they about. They don't know their education. Nothing. But they sit down and lay in that couch, okay? And they want relationship advice. But yet, I'm here telling you as a black woman, from my black you know, I'm Catholic, I'm traditional, my parents are happily married for over 40 years. You guys know from Haskell Economics, I know the statistics. You guys know that I know the black and white of marriage. Regardless of what anybody has to say, the videos are there. Yes, anyone could do the videos that I'm doing in Haskell Economics, but guess what? Bitches wasn't doing it. People was talking about shit, wasting y'all time, getting y'all heated, getting y'all attracted, doing stuff to get clicks. You know, I'm talking clickbait, and I was doing videos that were kind of boring. I was just talking about the basics. I wasn't talking about drama. I wasn't looking to see what was happening in the gossip world. I was giving black women the tools they need. So when this video is off, I can make your life better. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Jessica. And Patty Stanger, she matches the top women in the world, and she's completely single. You know, as a matter of fact, very few of the matchmakers that I network with were married, but nobody questioned them. They're charging tens of thousands of dollars, and nobody questions them. And yet, if I'm bringing you the same information, is she got a man, this and that, it's my relationship has nothing to do with your success. My relationship has nothing to do with this course. I brought Jason on as a man to give you his feedback, but he doesn't validate me in this course because our relationship is unique. I'm not here to compete. I'm not here for you to compare. Our situation is completely different. Completely. So it's not about, oh, look, she got a man. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's here to show you that you can have the love of your life. You can have a God who wants to provide, take care of you, and yes, love you. You don't have to compromise. I think my baby is sexy. I love him. I don't have to compromise. I don't have to close my eyes when I have sex because I'm just secure in the bag. And I'm like, okay, it's going to be over soon. It's going to be over soon. I'm not doing that. Like, I love him. He's a good person. I'm with him for the right reasons. It's not just because he's white. Like I said, even though I'm swirling technically, I'm not just pro swirl only, because I want the prerequisites to be there. We talk about this in the course. You gotta have the prerequisites. It don't care if you're black, Indian, Chinese, Asian, Japanese, Swahili, I don't care, Congo, I don't care. It's about the prerequisites. Does he love you? Does he adore you? Can he provide for you? Can he protect you? Can he lead you? Thank you so much. You know, like, Asia, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter about the race. It doesn't matter if you open your options, but you bring the same bad habits that you've been doing in the black community. Let's keep it real. It doesn't matter if you're gonna open your options, but don't open that engager box. If you're gonna open your options and don't be traditional, I'm telling you, your reputation precedes you. Even though we're in love, he kept it real with me and showed me, you know, from a European perspective, that how black women are perceived, which is a sharp contrast to how we are in real life. He has a close proximity because he goes to church. And he goes to a Christian church, and a lot of the women in his church are from African countries. So he knows that's not the truth. So he kind of got enlightened in a lucky way. He got enlightened. But you're going to have a lot of people who don't have contact with black women beyond what they see in social media or what they see on the radio. And that's where you as a black woman got to make sure your presentation is a sharp contrast in any way, shape, or form to what those crazy thought chicken head stripper ladies are showing to the world. Because we mean business. I can't stand to see black women unhappy in romance. Not when I know that we are the most affectionate, traditional, loving. Black women are like flowers. You water us, we grow like crazy. Like, we are so appreciative of a good man that loves us. We're not here thinking that we are hyper entitled and we don't care. And it's coming to the point where we are ready to take over. I wish he didn't leave, so like he left. But even when we're talking about sensuality and attraction, Jason said, as a white man, I'll bring him on tomorrow probably, but Jason said most white guys find black women attractive. It's just because of social stigma that they won't admit it. He's saying that as a European-born British man. He's saying most white guys like the curves, the fullness, the lips, the skin, the color. They love it. So we are the ones responsible for elevating our status. We need to make sure in every nook and cranny, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, whether it's Snapchat, that we use every opportunity to project ourselves in an elegant manner. We need to Michelle Obama that bitch. Meaning that elegance and grace, elegance and grace, elegance and grace, till they can't say anything. We have to counteract the ghetto-ness of Tiffany Haddish, or counteract the stripper club culture that they have thrust black women in. We have to do it. Don't open your options if you don't open your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm grateful that Jason is not from the United States, because I do think the reason why he loves me so much and he's appreciative of me is because his experience is not American. American black women with American non-black men, or even American black men, is going to be challenging because of the way we are seen. You know, I mean, not to be inappropriate. I know there might be some really Christian conservatives watching this, but not to be inappropriate. We all know what porn is. Let's keep it real. We grown women. I'm not saying I watch that shit every day. I don't. Let me stop playing. But when you watch X-rated movies, or you see glimpses, or just even the stars, most of the women are well endowed. You don't be seeing Kate Mosses and mad for Callista Flackhearts. You won't be seeing bone skinny chicks in porn. Even when the chick is white, her booty is done, her ass is done, she's thick and curvy. You don't be seeing no flat ass, Gumby looking bitch with no booty, no hips, no tits, trying to get, you know. It's look what they look at when the doors is closed and the lights is on. Look what they go to turn them on. But because we live in a world that's trying to keep Becky on the pedestal, they have to attach social stigma Like I said, if you watch my video on Hazards Economics, watch my video on Hazards Economics. Watch it. And it says, it has Cardi B. And like I said, there's a mainstream agenda to project black women in a negative light. Like when I was growing up, rappers was like MC Lyte, Foxy Brown, The Brat, Queen Latifah, Salt and Pepper, even Lil' Kim, even though she was sexual, but it was a smorgasbord, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like, to be a black female social figure, it's like you have to be a stripper. It's like a prerequisite. You got Amber Rose, even though she's mixed, she's still thrust into the hip hop community. She was an ex-stripper. What's her talent? Black China. I don't know what her talent is. I just don't know. Then you have Cardi B, an ex-stripper. Then when you watch rap videos, everybody doing it in a strip club. You don't understand. That is a social stigma when disproportionately. You know what I'm saying? So, let me see what Allison is saying. I need that type of love. I'm working on my femininity, and most black men don't like it. I did recently meet a black man that's very driven and masculine. I do want to date out too, though. So, like I said, Asia, that's great. And you know, this is what I believe, because some girls be like, oh, she's not swirling. As you can see, swirl away, bitches, swirl away. For all people that were saying, I don't really think she talks to white guys. Yes, bitch. Just like I don't have hair under my wig. No. But anyway, like I was saying, when you have your prerequisites, we talk about this in the course. That's why it's important for you to get the course. I'm not saying I'm trying to sell. When you have your prerequisites, you're going to see a certain demographic of men leak the fuck off. I don't want to talk too much because you're going to, you know, when you have your prerequisites, you don't have to keep saying black men, black men. You're going to see a certain demographic is going to be faltering because you're putting yourself first. I don't care if your man is Mexican. I don't care if he's Japanese, Chinese, Singapore. I really don't. All I care about is black woman happiness. I am pro black woman happiness. I'm pro black woman mental health. I am pro black women economic success. All I care is how you get to that point to be happy. Not get, but what you get, receive. So as long as you're being loved, adored, worshiped, protected, married, provided, that's all that matters. And whatever type of man could bring it to you, fine. If you find your Idris Elba and he could bring it to you, go get it. Who am I to tell you no? If you find your Asian, go get it. Who am I? But I don't think you need to overemphasize it, because let's keep it real. If you follow a list of prerequisites, you're gonna have a lot of black guys go drop off naturally. Boosh, boom. You're gonna have them drop off naturally. We had this conversation in the private learning Laws of Enchantress group. We had this conversation, and you know, it was mad funny. We were like, you don't even have to go hard. If you follow the prerequisites, and the number one is, because I can't talk too much because people are paying for it, but the number one is you must be pursued. And I don't mean in boyfriend and girlfriend. Pursue your ass down the aisle. Pursue your ass to the ring. Pursue, because that's a man's natural place. The minute you don't feel pursued, fall back, son, and get yourself back in the game. You should be pursued down the aisle. That's going to protect you. The minute that you feel like you have to call him more than he's calling you, the minute you have to feel like you don't feel special, and you got to kind of like keep reminding him to do basic shit. Like, look at my relationship with Jason, okay? Even though I'm not here to compare, because everybody's situation is unique, and just because I got a man, it don't mean shit. It doesn't mean that, oh shit, you gotta listen to me. But I do want to use this comparison. Look at my relationship with Jason. We have a 5-hour time difference when he's in England. 5 hours, right? He still made it a priority to call me at least 2 times a day. Video call. He never ever used phone call. He never used text. He made me a priority. I never once in 8 months had to say, where's Jason? Why he ain't call me? I don't know where Jason is. I never had to, because he made that a priority. He wanted me to feel protected, pursued. He wanted me to feel like I love her. Like I want you to know you are a priority. No questions asked. And that's what every black woman deserves. The reason why y'all get into so much situations like I did, because my dumb ass when I was doing that, is because we didn't know we were supposed to be pursued. We thought it was 50-50, and it's not 50-50. That's a man's rightful place. And that's some of the basics you learn in Laws of Enchantress. You cannot follow Becky because Becky has a status of marriage that precedes all of us. She put herself there indiscriminately to be the number one woman to be pursued. And most major demographics, whether it's white, Asian, Native, Indian, black, she's seen as the Mecca of dating. So of course she can act up and wild out. She can't cook chicken. She can't make potato salad. She's not good in bed. She's passive aggressive, but she put herself there as a Walmart of dating because everybody goes there. But that is a way we can capitalize and progress, because we are traditionalists. We want to be loving. We want to be loyal. And you're going to get everything you ever wanted. You don't have to be calculated like her. You can actually have a husband you love, who can provide, who's going to take care of you, who you're actually attracted to. You don't have to compensate like she does because she's handicapped. She doesn't have our sensuality. She doesn't have our warm appeal. So why would you operate as a black woman on a white woman's handicap? You are not making sense. You're not making any sense. You operate on her handicap. Why would you do that? So let me read what Kendra's saying. I'm gonna go soon. Fall back, son. Kendra, yep, my dad told me and my sister that a man needs to approach and pursue us. And to marry a man who loves us more. Okay, wait. I want to say this real quick. I'm trying to see to Kendra, and to marry a man who loves us more than we love them. So I think I know what your dad is saying. Figuratively speaking, you don't need to marry a man who loves you more than you love them, okay? What they're trying to say, he's right. What he's trying to say is marry a man who is expressive. Marry a man who's proud. You see how my boyfriend has no hesitation to say he loves me, he adores me, he kissed me. It's called enchanted. That's why we have the laws of Enchantress. Marry a man who's captivated with you. If you notice, Michelle Obama and Obama, Serena and Harry, these are men that are enchanted. I do think Michelle and Obama love each other, in a great way. I do think Jason Momoa, Lisa Bonet, Serena and Alexis and Obama, but these men are expressive. They mad eager, son, to tell the world, I got the best female in the world, just like my boyfriend is. George Clooney. You talking about these are enchanted men. That's why I made the laws of Enchantress. Your father don't mean for you to walk in with some guy with his balls hanging like fettuccine Alfredo. He doesn't mean for you to be with somebody you don't love. What he means is that a man should be very forthcoming with his feelings. When a man's in love, he's very protective. Men are very territorial. So a guy that's in love would be expressive like Barack Obama. A man that's in love would be expressive like Jason Momoa. If you guys haven't seen that clip, I pinned it to the top of the Enchantress page where he's gushing over how much he loves Lisa Bonet. And that's what your father meant. My father said the same thing too. But my father and mom are desperately in love. They're 40 years old. They still hold hands. They're in love. It's like a Jamaican story tale. But what it means is that my father is very forthcoming. I love my wife. I love her. I got the prettiest wife. My father's always bragging about his mom, my mom. It doesn't mean that my mom don't love him, but my mom's not the sucker. My mom's not the sucker that's always saying, oh, I love him, and he's treating her like shit. Basically you mean marrying like Prince Harry. Prince Harry is very in love with Meghan, but Meghan in love with that ass too. But Harry's clearly in love and not afraid to show it. So that's what they mean. Don't marry a man who's not vocal about loving you. Don't marry a man who's not comfortable saying he loves you often. Don't marry a man who's not proud to show you off and tag you in pictures. Don't marry a man who's not he doesn't look at you as everything. Because a man needs to do that. So that's what we call enchanted men. These men are enchanted. They're proud of their women. They look for any opportunity to brag about their women. They look for any opportunity to tell you how wonderful the women are. They're not ashamed or shy to show you they're in love, like how my boyfriend was. These men are enchanted. And that's what it means when it says, marry a man who loves you more. Because as women, we are very natural to say who we love. Not a big deal. As women, we are very... It's natural. Oh, I love my boyfriend, and then we love, but it's not as natural for men, because men just don't do that. But when a man becomes enchanted, it's a magical thing. Like, wow, he's really taken with her. And all this stuff, put it like this, all this stuff you learn in the course. My ladies know all this stuff you learn. 99.9% of the heartbreaks that black women go through, you do not need to go through it, because the minute you're not pursued, son, drop it like it's hot. Ow, 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 drop it like it's hot. The minute you don't feel love in the door, I don't care if you got to lose 50 pounds or 300. I don't care if you need a head transplant. I do not care. If he's talking to you, that means he should be pursuing you. The minute that scale slants in his favor, you got to get out of this, son. Dating is for him to prove himself worthy of a relationship. Dating is not sex. Dating is for him to prove that he is worthy. That's it. If he's not proving himself worthy, then you need to go. You need to go. That's it. What do you say, Asia? I wish I had laws of Enchantress was like a physical school. I don't want to say boarding school. I pack it quickly. Listen, girls, I make it easy for you. If you want to join, there's payment plans. I'm very open. I'm very flexible. My whole passion is getting you enrolled. Like I said, I invest a lot of what I get from the laws of Enchantress, partnering with matchmakers, talking to professional people. And I'm telling you, even just the group itself, the secret page, is very uplifting, because so many black women don't get, you are the upgrade. Your sensuality, your femininity, your sexuality, who you are, your feminine sacred energy, you literally are the upgrade. So I'm saying Hogwarts for black women. You can't use Becky's potato salad. Why would you use Becky's tips? Becky has to compensate because she's not sensual. Becky has to compensate because she's not comfortable being, even a smidgen of femininity to make her man feel good. Becky is in a war. And when I say war, y'all do your own research. There's a feminist war going on with white men that black women have no idea. White women don't want masculine men. They call it toxic masculinity. Look it up. White women don't want men to even look at them on the street. White women said, if you say good morning, street harassment. White women are doing regret rape, where you have sex with a guy, and if he don't call you back, if you feel like he took you out to dinner and he spent too much, you kind of felt like you had to sleep with him, they're calling it, you can take back your consent. It's called regret rape. White women are not trying to get equality. They want to destroy the white male patriarchy, and they want to put themselves in a white female matriarchy that does not concern black women. Like right now, how much support you really get for white women. And I love when black girls say, oh, black girls don't like me. Yeah, black girls could be annoying. We could be catty. We could be bitchy. But you have seen nothing. I did my experiment, son. I'm not talking about it on this page. But let Dion tell you. Let anyone tell you about the experiment I did with white women. I can't talk about it on this page. But y'all who took my course, y'all think white women is your friend? Wait till they think you can compete with them on the same level. I did an experiment. And I think Jenna, if Jenna's here, Jenna knows about my experiment. I can't say too much because it's a paid experiment, but I purposely did that experiment to show you these women are not your friend. They might engage you because they don't see you as competition, but the minute they think you're on equal footing, they will do anything to take you out. But it's alright, because common sense. A lot of girls say, we know that already. That's bullshit. I hear black women all the time say, we the worst to each other. It's not that we're the worst to each other. A lot of black women haven't been loved, protected, respected, adored, and valued. We are operating on an anxiety level. We're operating on a paranoia level. It's like you constantly at war. So that type of woman is going to be frigid. She's going to be, she's going to be hyper. So you can't really judge that. When you start loving Black women and showing love, it might take a year or two, but the real warmth and the person who we truly are comes out. Becky's acting like this and she's numero uno. Becky's acting passive aggressive and she's number one. Becky's acting like this and she's getting married. She has economic foundation. She has economic security. She's seen as the most beautiful woman. Becky's acting up for no fucking reason, son. She has no issues in contrast to Black women. She doesn't have knucklehead ashies like we do, and she's acting up. So imagine if she had half the issues we had as Black women, she wouldn't be able to sustain. Black women have been sustaining predominantly by themselves. Even if you get married, we have the absence of a culture and a community to support those structures, which every other demographic has, and it's essential. Y'all think, oh, Black women are bad? Go ahead. Become a lawyer or a doctor. Become something where you are eye to eye with a white woman. See what happens to you. Look what they're doing to white men. Look what they're doing to their own white men, who has put them on a pedestal, who has made them the icon of beauty in their society, who has protected them with laws, who has protected them to the point where if you touch a white woman, the police is coming. Stat. We all know that. Even the cops engage them differently. A white girl could yell at a cop. Cop is not doing that. Her man gave her that status, but she has no gratefulness to the patriarch that put her in that power position to do what she's doing today. So you got to remember, this is somebody that's willing to take out their own gender. They're having their own war. Don't think for 1 second that you cool. Let me see what's going on here. Random question. Yeah, I have Asia. I have a lot of people. Guys, if you see Asia, Jenna, can you hear me? Jenna or Dion or Leah, contact Asia because she's asking if anyone has joined the Law of Enchantress group. The level of group is for Leah, and Leah has a lot of members, and she has a one-time entrance fee too. Mine is an ongoing course series, which is more in depth. And, that's why the investment's a little bit higher because it's nonstop. It's new courses every 2 weeks with different topics for Black women, specifically one to get married well, and stay married. So I have about 40 members in the Laws of Enchantress, I think. And there's women in this thread right now, Asia, who took the course. You can contact Jenna, or you can just contact Dion. There's women here. So Dion, if you want to contact Asia, she wants information, or Asia, I can actually tag you on the Laws of Enchantress page where people actually giving you feedback about the course. People that I don't even know that are taking it. I'm not paying them to say nothing, but giving you feedback about the course. Yeah, you can join both pages. Laws of Enchantress is different. Laws of Enchantress is a series where it talks about healing, meditation, visualization, crystal healing, manifestation, meditate, all that stuff. It's a progressive, but it starts with you as a Black woman healing yourself and loving yourself. Because I know that we have so many challenges in our demographics. So we want to make sure that Black women are healed and empowered before. There's too many broken Black women trying to love, and it's a beautiful thing to see that process. It's very emotional to see Black women coming to terms and saying, wow, this is what I'm dealing with. And actually coming to the eureka moment in their head saying, I got to deal with this. I got to love. I got to deal with this. So, okay. So Asia, Dion, Zahara, thank you guys for watching. Course 5 will be starting this week. I'm still on vacation with my baby, so be patient. I'm going to be loading stuff up. I got my Wi-Fi. So guys, if you're interested in Laws of Enchantress, like I said, it's a one-time investment of $199. It's a series of courses, all focused on getting you married. It's not one time. It's continuously going. And you can make a one-time payment, or you can do a breakup payment, 4 payments of $50, or every 2 weeks $100 to you, $199, and that's it. You pay once, you get everything. You get all past courses, present, and the future courses. Because I'm going to continue to do this for a very long time. Because I think our biggest challenge as Black women is us. Like, we need to be empowered. We need to know how good we are. We need to see that we have amazing abilities and traits that men of value and stature are seeking. We are traditional. Don't lose yourself eating Becky's potato salad. You know what I'm saying? So, oh yeah, there's plenty. Dion's in both groups. There's plenty of people in both groups. So that's it. So thank you so much, girls, for being here. Again, if you're interested in the course, just message me. I will get back to you. If not, I'll get back to you sooner or later. I am traveling. We are together. So definitely, thank you so much for being here, guys, and have a good night.